Hola, hola, hola. Welcome, y'all. Okay, the camera's looking super clear today. And your girl is looking like shmoney because, that's what we're talking about per regular. I'm on a little early, or maybe I'm right on time. So we're going to leave a little time for some more people to get in. But, first of all, my first and most important question is let me know in the comments what your human design type is, your profile number, and I want to know what is something that you have been practicing or that you learned recently about your human design that has had you like, I think that's let's have a nice little commentary in the comments today. So, while everyone is coming on, hi Millie. I was watching the mastery class this morning. Amazing, 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 amazing. Is that the Profit with Purpose Masterclass? Is that the one you're talking about? I have so many different shifts and changes and things that are coming up. All because wonderful, 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 wonderful. Just because I'm learning so much more about myself and about my chart. And I don't know, I feel a shift in my aura, like my aura altogether. I don't know. The universe is doing its thing and I'm working right with it. So today we're going to be talking money, 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 which is so funny. So let me talk about what we're going to be talking about first. So today we're going to be talking about 3 core beliefs that will lead to an empowered life, will lead to a wealthy life. Very important. And they're pretty basic. And then through that, we're also going to talk about different aspects of your human design chart. I'm excited. Your human design chart and your astrology chart. And within all of this, I'm going to be storytelling. I'm going to be sharing some things that came up with me this week. As y'all know, I'm a 4/6 splenic projector. So a big piece of how I show up and how I connect with you is sharing stories. That's the 6th line. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Janae. There we go. Boom. So Millie has already gotten the instruction for today, but since you're just joining, of course, drop your human design profile, type your number, and what is something that opened up for you in the past week. Hi, Kay. That opened up for you in the past week around your human design, what you're practicing. Maybe you've been listening to the audio spells, whatever it is that you want to share, leave in the comments, and we're going to chat about that in a second. Okay. So let's get into the 3 core beliefs, and I'm going to give you all 3 up front, and then we're going to dive deep into them. Okay. So the first core belief is the belief in abundance. Okay. We are living in an abundant reality, and that needs to be your core belief. So that's number 1. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Janai. That's number 1. That's the first core belief. Okay. Number 2 is that there are both contributing factors in your life and there are determining factors. And so we're going to talk about where you're probably living most and where you want to shift to. All right. That's number 2. And then number 3, core belief, I am a forever learner. Okay. All of them are important, but I think this is the one that really gets us tripped up in terms of, I want to show up in the world like I know it all, baby. This is an infinite life. There's so much to know. And so you being a consistent, continual student is going to make your life better. You're going to feel more empowered, and it's definitely going to impact your wealth. Okay. So those are the 3 core beliefs we're talking about today. We're going to break each of them down. I'm going to share some stories with you, and we're going to get into it. And you're going to leave here like, yeah, a motherfucker's wealthy. Like I am wealthy right now in the 3D and the 5D. Okay, we're gonna pull it in. How do we pull the money in from the 5D? We're gonna talk about that today. Okay. So again, if you're just getting in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Just meaning you're on time. I started like a little bit early today. Drop your human design type, your profile number, and what have you discovered in the past week, from last week to this week, about your human design profile. Maybe you've been listening to the audio spells. Maybe you got one of the ebooks and you're putting shit to work. I want to know what is opening up for you in your life, in your money, in your business, wherever you want to share. Drop it in the chat. Okay. Okay. So I have a couple things I want to share with you. Where do I want to start today? I'm going to start with abundance. And I'm going to start with, that's the first belief, right? But I'm also going to share a story with you first. So I think about last week or maybe a week and a half ago, I shared on Twitter about this, but I'm going to share it with you as if I've never told it. Okay. So a friend of mine called me, and a little backstory: this friend and I met, I want to say in 2019, before I left New York. And we met through a mutual friend that we've all done work with Landmark worldwide. And if you've never heard of Landmark, it is a personal development program that blew open my life. Okay. My first ever work was with Momentum Education. I met someone, his name is Tolu, my brother. Met him, he introduced me to Landmark, and I just love the way that they did business over there. Okay. And I'm all about business. So I meet this friend, and she's come to visit me in the Virgin Islands. We do book club together. This is someone that I truly love. She's also my life insurance agent. Like, that's my girl. Okay. So last week, or about a week and a half ago, she calls me, she messages me, and she was like, can we chat real quick? Because something opened up for me. She's currently coaching a program, and she's getting some, breakthroughs for herself. And I was like, sure. I'm like, I'm available right now. So we get on the phone, and she was like, whew. So I didn't want to share this, but I recognize that it's came up and I have to deal with it. And I'm like, okay. And she was like, I'm recognizing that I have been judging you like a lot. And she was like, I've been judging you because you come online and you talk about abundance, and you're talking about how the universe is abundant and you're abundant, but you haven't been paying your life insurance policy on time. And I'm listening, and she's like, I recognize that I judge you based on that. And she's like, even though we have a friendship outside of that, my whole paradigm, the way I listen to you, the way I be with you, is all based on that one thing. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I want to take full responsibility for this, because she's like, I recognize that me looking at you that way has impacted our relationship. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I want to take full responsibility. I also want to hear from you. What is the impact over there? And I say to her, I already knew this. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, I have picked up on that energy in you a long time ago. And this is my Cancer sun, unconditional love. I was like, I just left room for you to figure that out. And it kept coming up for me. And I was like, I wanted to have a conversation, but me honoring my projector design was like, nope, wait for the opportunity or wait for the invitation to share what you see. And that's what I've been doing. So literally, this has been going on for a minute, me feeling this, and then also her experiencing me in that way, right? And so she's listening, and she was like, wow. And I was like, and I've also experienced how you be with other people in your life. And I was like, you have that same judgmental approach to people. So I know that I wasn't exempt. Like, and this is someone that I talk to like at least once a week. I'm a part of a project that she has going on right now. Like, we are involved in each other's lives. So she shares this with me, and she's like, wow, I feel so free now. And I was like, I'm happy for you. I'm very happy for you, because I wanted to make a request of you, but I recognize that I couldn't make a request of you until you had this breakthrough for yourself. And that request was for her to share me with her network. I'm a part of this project, and I hear other people on the call talking about, she referred me this client, she referred me this client. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. But again, me honoring my projector type is like, it's gonna come up. So you don't have to do anything, Sarah. Just shine like you always do. And again, this person has seen me in different varieties and different areas of my life. When I first started my business, where I'm at now, where I became like a wife and a mom, and I'm in the house and I'm not making any money and I'm just chilling. I'm living on the support of my man. Like, she's seen me in all these arenas, and to hear her finally confront herself, that's what I want you to hear in this. She confronted herself, not me. She was sharing with me the breakthrough that she got for herself, right? The reason I want you to hear this, right? The reason I want you to hear this is because your perspective of not only yourself, but other people can block your money, okay? Your perspective of yourself and other people will block your money. And what's so beautiful, we had a call, I think we connected on Monday, right? Again. And she's like, I just wanted to, like, there's some more of this I want to get off my chest. And she was like, I recognize like I really was deep in my judgment of you. Like you're talking about abundance. Every time I see you online, you're talking about abundance, but then my experience is this. And I'm sitting there and I was like, it's so funny that the moment that we had that conversation, I completely brought everything up to date. And it's so funny how the universe works. Energy aligns. So if you're seeing me in this way, the only way that I can live into what you see is what you see. Meaning, if you see me as someone that's not paying my shit online, the only thing I can do is not pay my stuff on time. What we experience is what we create. If I create that this guy that I'm dating, for example, is an asshole, the only way I'm going to experience him is him being an asshole. So if her creation was she doesn't pay her shit on time, guess what happened? That's what I was living into. The moment that we had that conversation, I brought everything up to date. So it's not that I didn't have the money, but if your energetic aura and the way that you see me is X, I'm going to live into that X. And again, if the only experience of the universe is abundance, that is all that can exist. And so I want you, this is the number one core belief. And the reason why it's the number one core belief is because if you believe anything else but that, you're giving opportunity for lack to show up in your life. And me as someone who I believe in abundance, that doesn't mean I need to have $1 million in my bank account. I'm in that area of my life now where I know enough to actually materialize that, but I had to learn that, right? Everything up until this date, whether or not I had the money or not, I have been living a luxury lifestyle. I think I shared with you guys how I literally lived in many countries, all the way in Hong Kong. I didn't pay $1 out of my pocket, lived in a penthouse apartment, showed up at the apartment and had tens of thousands of dollars in an envelope. I lived there for 3 months for free. Moved to the Virgin Islands, lived in a villa on the beach for 3 months for free. Moved back to the Caribbean and my mom reopened her restaurant to ensure that I was good. And you trying to tell me that because I'm paying my life insurance policy late that I don't believe in abundance? I'm not the epitome of abundance? Go check yourself. Go check yourself. And I want y'all to hear this too. There are a lot of people that live in the material world and they do not even they can't even fathom the energy of abundance because they think abundance is what you're driving and what you're wearing and where you're living. That is not abundance, okay? That is material result of your hard work. That is material results of your hard work. And your hard work can be physical labor or it can be the mental and the nervous system work that you're doing. And so as I sat this morning and I was thinking about the conversation we're about to have today, I literally thought about my entire life. My parents sent me to boarding school at the age of 12, a boarding school that cost over $40,000 a year. My parents sent me to boarding school. Let me tell you something. When I walked out the womb, I walked out rich. And my parents, because I've looked at their charts, my parents went into overdrive to level up their money when I was born. And here comes this person telling me that I don't see abundance. I think of all this other stuff when no, baby, that's your shit. That's not my shit. That's your shit. My mom had a school built for me as a toddler. That school still exists. All of my sisters went to that school. A school built for me. If you're from the Virgin Islands, you've heard of first impressions, right? I was the first student. All of my sisters have went there. And then sent me to boarding school that cost 40 grand a year. Then sent me to Penn State that cost another 40 grand a year, almost 50 because now I'm traveling back and forth. Come fuck with me. Born abundant. Never had to work for it. Energy gives off abundance. Never had to work for it. So as you're listening to this, I want you to know that the same is true about you. The same is true about you. My daughter don't got to think about nothing. She wakes up and I want a snack. I want to go for a walk. I want to go to the library. Every day my sister calls and she's like, what did Aaliyah eat for breakfast today? And I'm like, oh, she had some eggs. She had some smoked salmon. She's like, she eating better than me. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know who pays for it? My man. Okay? My man. Who pays for this house, the car I drive? My man. The clothes on my back? My man. What? Okay. Okay. So, belief number one is in the abundance of the universe. Okay? And if you are alive, you are abundant. Okay? You know something I wanted to share with y'all that came up for me as I was preparing for this? I thought this was such an interesting thought. If you are experiencing lack, it is not because the universe is not abundant. Okay? The only reason you experience lack is because you think you need to fix something about yourself before you can experience abundance. Clock that T. Because if you thought that the only thing in the universe was lack, you would have done off yourself. What's the point of living? If I'm never going to actually get there, what's the point of being here? This is how I know that you believe in abundance. And if you are not experiencing it to the level that you feel like you deserve, it's because you think you need to fix something in yourself first. And so I'm here to let you know you could cut that middle shit out. There's nothing to fix. The abundance is yours. It is your birthright. You have to believe it. That's all you got to do. Believe it. Believe that if you are alive, abundance is yours. That whole fixing your shit, fixing yourself, I need to heal myself stuff in the middle, that's blocking your blessings. Because the more that you focus on the thing in the middle, what you got to fix, the less you think about yourself. Clock this T right now. This is one of the reasons why me doing personal development was more about me learning how these big companies are operating so I could have that in my mindset as I'm building my own thing. That was really why I was there. Because the moment I went into it trying to fix my mom, fix myself, the more I recognized that there ain't shit to fix. There may be a perspective or an awareness that I can gain, but there is nothing to fix. And a lot of y'all, you approach personal development as it's hard, as there's something wrong with me, as I need to fix myself before I can have X. And you know what happens to the mind when it's like, look at this big old hump of hard work that I got to do first before I can have the thing? I'm going to just stay here. I'm going to stay where I'm at. You know what? I've been where I'm at long enough. I'm cool. I've done enough. I'm doing all right. This paycheck to paycheck ain't that bad. At least I'm getting a paycheck. Like the way that we minimize ourselves when we see an obstacle, and obstacles aren't real either, right? We see this thing in the middle between us and the thing that we want that says you got to do this hard work first. Our natural response to that is no. Because we already know, we can feel in ourselves that we came here worthy. So what you mean I got to do? I got to heal myself? I got to go find myself? I got to fix myself? What is that? There's a natural aversion to that. That's why I hate that language. You will not hear me talk that. My girls know that for a fact. I do not talk about, you don't need to heal or fix anything. That's not a conversation in my world. Once you make a decision, then you act according to your decision, whatever that is. That's our power. It is that quick. That's why when people are selling you all of this stuff around manifestation and blah, 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 no, I'm gonna here's some awareness about you using your human design, using your astrology. Go learn yourself and move accordingly. There's nothing to fix. You are who you are, designed as you are, and designed to experience abundance from birth. That is what it is. Period. And this is why today I can show up in front of you in a whole different aura because I learned something new. And I looked and I was like, oh shit, that's accurate. And we talk about that in a second. Okay? So again, the first belief Has got to be abundance is the only. I love this story. I listened to my mentor. Is he my mentor? Yeah, he's my mentor. I love Myron Golden. All right, fine ass, old ass black man. So, anyways, Myron always tells a story about Adam and Eve, right? And how God is like, you can eat of all the fruit except this one. You can eat of all the fruit in this garden except one. If that ain't abundance, so you telling me I got pineapples, I got mangoes, I got guinep, I got sour sop, I got sugar apples, I got fig bananas, rambutan, pineapple, watermelon, grape. I could eat all of this, and I just can't have that one over there. I'm Gucci. I'm Gucci. But then the devil comes in and he was like, well, why you can't eat that right there? Why you can't eat that one right there? Again, awareness. They weren't even aware of the one that they couldn't eat. And it's so funny, God put it in the center of the garden. So all around, you got everything you need, but you got to go through everything that's available to you to get to the one that you don't need. And here comes the devil like, well, what about that one over there? Let's go over there. And he makes her aware of it. And then she goes over there and she go fucking with it. That is us and our experience of abundance and lack. Lack is the minute. It's the least. And so if you are experiencing lack, you are going and looking for the least. Why? Why? What is it that you we're gonna go into point number 2 right now. What is it about you that you keep focusing on that you think lack is the only thing that's available? What do you think you need to prove that you need to experience lack first before you can experience the abundance? What stories are you telling yourself that say, no, let me go work really hard. Let me go prove myself. Let me go be homeless and without before I can have? And that leads me into belief number 2. And I see y'all comments in the chat. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about all of that. Number 2, belief number 2. Belief number 2. Belief number 2 is that there are 2 factors to your empowered life, to your most wealthiest life, to your most love-filled life. There are 2 factors. There are contributing factors and there are determining factors. One of those is outside of your control. The other one is the only one you can control. Shit is so good. Let me drink some water here. Let me drink some water. One of them you cannot control, and the other one is the only thing that you can control. So let's break those 2 down. Because a contributing factor is who your parents are, the color of your skin, the way you look. Maybe where you were born, where you live. That is a contributing factor. You had no control over that. It happened. It's a part of your life. But it does not determine your life. You see, what determines your life is the determining factors. And the determining factors are as simple as this: what you make those contributing factors mean. What you make them mean about the world, what you make them mean about yourself, what you make them mean about money. The determining factors are what you make those contributing factors mean. This is like me getting teased as a little girl. There was this fine ass kid, which is so funny because he's not fine no more. But anyways, he was fine when we were kids. And I'm on the playground at Leonora Delville Primary School in Capoons Bay in Tatolo. And I'm like, so and so, you fine, I want you to be my boyfriend. I don't know where my little fast ass was going, but hey. And he was like, your boyfriend? I don't want to be your boyfriend, fatso. And I cried and I'm like, well, damn. I think I'm pretty cool. I think I'm pretty funny. I'm smart. So because I thought you don't like me, that's crazy. And I cried and then I let it go. And then you know what I did for the rest of my life? I literally made it a point to have whatever I wanted, talking about men, right? Because I wasn't going to let what this boy said to me, this contributing factor, determine who the fuck I am and what I can have. What? That's crazy. But you see, what a lot of us do, and I've definitely been included in that. I'm gonna give an example of how that impacted me. Like a contributing factor is you need to go to school and get a degree in finance because people with finance and law and doctor's degrees, they're the people that make money. That was the conversation. This is happening. I'm driving my mom. I remember I was at home for a summer from boarding school, and I was like, I'm getting ready for college, and I was like, I want to be a teacher. Like I love simplifying information and sharing it. And my mom was like, teachers don't make no money. You need to go to school for business or law or something. I'm like, okay, teachers don't make no money. I don't want to be broke. I definitely don't want to be broke. So I guess I can't be a teacher. That was a contributing factor. And what I made that mean is like, I can't be a teacher. Let me go do something else with my time. So I did. I went and got a degree in economics. That was a great thing. I had a great time. Taught me a lot. Prepared me for this moment that I'm in right now because I am still a teacher. Right? But a lot of what you're doing currently is you are experiencing things and you're making it mean something about you. And so I want you to free yourself of that today because the contributing factors are simply information. What you do with that information is what creates the result. So if you're going to take something that someone said to you, or maybe you didn't get the best grades in school, or you're the black sheep, again, what the fuck does that even mean in your family, right? You make these things mean something, and then you're like, well, I can't ask for a raise, and I can't start my own business, and I can't raise my prices. What? And I can't quit this job. I can't move across the country. What? Says who? Says the meaning that you gave the contributing factor. Oh, I'm black, so whatever you fill in there. Or I'm Asian from this small little town in South Korea, so I'm whatever you fill in there. Whole time on the same internet that we all be on, you seeing examples of people that look like you, that come from your same town, that sound like you, that got the same hair as you, that's interested in the same topic as you. They doing big things. They've been through struggle. We all been through struggle. We all been through uncomfortable things. We've all had things that we equated to trauma. What did you make it mean? Your power is in your hands. Your power is in your mind. You tell your mind what I want. You tell your mind what I want. Nobody else and nothing else. That's belief number 2. Because there are people that you would think, how the F are you successful, wealthy, the president of America? How? Because the contributing factors aren't going to get in the way of what it is that I want. The person that is the president of the United States of America right now is also a felon. Okay. Has been bankrupt how many times? Okay. Does any of that get in his way? The answer is no. But there are people that are watching him, consumed with him, whose circumstances are nowhere near where they're supposed to be. And they're judging this person. That is such a prime example of not allowing your contributing factors to determine your results. Y'all may not like this example. that's between you and you. I think it's the perfect example. I don't give a F what that man is doing. The only way I know what's going on with him is if somebody else brings it into my realm. I don't care. I don't pay attention. He don't got nothing to do with this economy. Because this is an economy in its own. So he could raise the tariffs to 1,000. Have fun, bro. You got to recognize you came here abundant, capable, and fully designed to take care of yourself, to create whatever it is that you want, whether it is a thought, a belief, a physical thing, a child, you have the power to create. So no matter what this person is over here doing, that don't got nothing to do with your power. This is why I said one of the things is outside of your control, and the other thing is the only thing you can control. If you're so focused on the thing you cannot control, you're wasting your energy. Bring your power back. Reclaim your power. Stop Janae likes to use this term, doom scrolling. Stop doom scrolling and letting your power leak out of your ears. You're looking at other people and then you're having thoughts about yourself. Well, I'm not ready for that yet. I don't know enough yet. I'm not well connected yet. Who is making that stuff up? You are. When my little chatterbox goes off, I call it, it doesn't even have a name. It's a chatterbox. When it starts to go off, I literally say out loud, shut the fuck up. I say, get out of your head, Sarah. Because ain't nothing good going on up there. This is why I love human design. Get into your body. What is my spleen telling me to do? Boom. We take action. But when we're up here, chat. You know what doesn't feel good? You don't feel good. I don't feel good. When I am talking shit about somebody else because they did something that I made mean, that I'm less than, I don't feel good about myself. I'm going to give you an example. This is a really good example. So this weekend, Saturday, I was taking myself out on my little artist date, right? And I like to ask my man for money just because I want to ask my man for money. So I'm about to leave the house, and we had some previous conversations. He's like, you need to put me blah, blah, blah. Some bullshit, right? It was bullshit. And I'm like, can I have some money, please? And he was like, for what? And I was like, because I want some money. He's like, why should I give you some money? I was like, because I asked for it. He's going back and forth with me. And I was like, I'm done with this conversation. If the answer is no, the answer is no. Mind you, the answer was never no, but all of the extra, I'm not into that shit, right? So I go into the bathroom, and immediately the emotions out of me are tears, okay? I've shared this before. I cry for everything. I cry when I'm happy. I cry when I'm making shit mean something else. I'm a crier, okay? So I go in the bathroom, I cry. And I was like, anyways, let me go where I'm going, right? And I leave the house. I have a time. I went to go see Sinners at 12:10 in the afternoon. It was a beautiful, that movie is amazing. Took myself to lunch. Then what else did I do? Oh, I got on the phone with an old friend. Had a whole conversation about, introduced him to human design. This is someone that I still love him. I love him down, just not in that way. But come to find out, he's actually a 4/6 profile like myself, which is awesome, right? So we have a whole conversation for like an hour and a half. And then I'm not going to lie to you, the whole time I was driving, I was cursing my man. I was just like, I was going in, right? I recorded 2 videos, which I'm realizing is really supportive for me. It's like a video diary. I recorded that shit. And I just let it all out. And then I recognize contributing factor was all of his bullshit. Determining factor is what I made that mean. And I took a moment. I want you to listen to this clearly. I took a moment to think, well, why would that be his response? With this amazing energy over here, why would that be his response? Because the way he sees me is someone that is abundant as fuck. It should be flowing out of her ear. She shouldn't have to ask me for nothing. And I usually don't, right? I told you again, I'm leaving the house. I'm just like, I had money. I just wanted some more, right? And I took a moment to sit with that and be like, that's exactly why my friend, who I started off talking y'all about, that's exactly why that was her experience too. They both, in my opinion, live in the material world. So they're like, what you mean you asking for money? What you mean you're paying your thing late? Because the way you talk about abundance, it should be flowing out of your ears. So anything adverse to that, that can't be real. And I really took a moment to accept, like, the way he sees me, is such a big, rich, abundant deal that I should never have to ask. But the way I see him is, you are my man, you need to give me money anyways. His sun sign is in my 7th house, if you know anything about astrology. You are my ATM. You get to be in my energy. You are my ATM. I'm going to ask you whether or not I have it. But I also get to accept that that is not his reality. And this is the thing that I want to share with you. If you are a projector, I want you to hear me clearly. The way that we see ourselves is in how people respond to us. How do people be with you? So my man responding in that way, my girlfriend coming and telling me what she told me was like, damn. My mom yesterday, I'm telling her, you need to get a digital product. How many times do I have to say this to you? She's like, well, when you make your first million, then I'm gonna start to listen to you. I'm like, that's crazy, because this whole time you getting the tea, you up close, but okay. Why? Because the way they see me, I can tell the way they see me in their responses to me. This is why my mom, literally, her restaurant was closed. She opened it up when I moved home. Why? Because my queen of a daughter is here, and I need to create an opportunity for her to generate some income, for her to socialize, whatever it is. People treat you in the way they see you. And we could make it mean. I could make it mean like, damn, my man don't love me. He's being an asshole. I mean, I let all of that out. Obviously, none of that is real, right? I could live into that meaning, but I chose something else. Because the whole time, the way I felt about that meaning was shitty. And that's not my reality. So projectors, you want to know your truth? See how people respond to you. Generators, you want to know your truth? See how you respond to other people. You see, our work as projectors is not to self-reflect. Our work as projectors is to be with how people respond to us and how we show up in their lives. A generator and a manifesting generator, your work is internal. You are self-reflecting kings and queens. If you are a generator or a manifesting generator and you are avoiding self-reflection, you're effing yourself. The perfect proof of that is my girlfriend who I started this story with. She's a 3-5 manifesting generator. So this whole time she's having this experience, I didn't even have to say anything. When she went and did her self-work and she self-reflected, she saw it for herself. When I tell y'all, it is in our DNA how we are meant to thrive, I am not lying. I am in this, every day I am getting deeper and deeper and deeper because I love to win. I love to win. I love to win. I love to feel good. I love to look good. I love to be happy. I love. And so I'm going to continue to do this work, and I'm going to continue to get deeper and deeper and deeper. So again, as a projector, pay attention to how people respond to your energy. They are telling you how they see you. Okay? Anything I want, I don't care how much my man kick up about it, he gonna fucking do it. He gonna do it. It is uncomfortable for the generator type to do and then feel like, oh, they're not getting anything back. But projectors, we're not here to do. We are here to guide. So you're gonna do what I ask you to do. You're gonna do what I ask you to do. And you're going to benefit from being in my aura. I woke up this morning and I made stuffed mushrooms. He loves stuffed mushrooms. I made stuffed mushrooms from scratch and packed his lunch. What the fuck you mean? No. There is no no in my universe. You can kick up a no, but you're going to do it. That's the projector aura. Okay? Generators, self-reflect, get your journal popping. Get your, if you want to be vlogging and you want to do video journals, get your video journal popping. Go for your walk. You need to self-reflect. This is the key way I can tell an unaligned generator type. You blaming somebody else for your shit. You blaming someone else for your money. You blaming someone else for the relationship, how your relationship is going. You're blaming your environment for how your health and well-being is. Anytime a generator is blaming something outside of themselves for a result, they're out of alignment. Generator types self-reflect. That is where your power is, because there's a version of you, there's a way of being that you are not embodying, and that is why you're getting the response or the result that you're getting. Okay? Okay? Okay, clear. Let me know if this is helping y'all. Let me know in the comments if this is valuable. I want to see, what do I want to see today? I want to see a green heart today. Let me know if this is valuable information right here. And then we're going to go into point number 3. Let me know if this is valuable. Let me see a green heart in the chat. And before we go into point number 3, I'm going to say this. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. If it's meant to be, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. It is so easy to blame somebody else. That's the easiest thing we could do. That is the easiest thing. You said something mean to me, so I ran over your big toe. Damn. So I said something mean, you made it mean what you made it mean, and then you decided to drive over my toe. That's crazy. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words could never hurt me. So you decided to do that? If it's meant to be, it's up to me. And I say that to tie off belief number 2. There are contributing factors, and then there are determining factors. Every single day, you are deciding what are going on in your reality. Every day. Every day. I could have been mad at my man. For what? I could have cut my friend off. For what? After she said all of that shit, she was like, I recognize the reason why I'm saying this is because you matter to me. Our friendship matters to me. Like, us thriving matters to me. And I was like, I know. This is why I left the space here for you to figure your shit out, because what you was seeing was fucking you up, not me. I'm Gucci over here. That's the funny thing about your thoughts. They will eat away at you. The other person is like, chilling, happy, living their life. And you over there like, I can't stand that person. I hate this job. I can't believe that person didn't pay my money. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. And this is what I love, especially when it comes to the topic of money, okay? One of the things I teach my girls, and we are getting deeper into this, and guys as well, you're welcome, okay? Pay for everything that you want in life using offers. If you go to my Stand store right now, there are so many different offers. Why? Because I honor my spleen. My spleen be like, oh, we just learned something new. We applied it. That shit works. Let's create an offer. What? Somebody else probably needs this out there. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. My name is Sarah Billions, and please believe in this lifetime, that'll be my reality, okay? It is my reality. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. This is why I call myself the economy. Whatever I want, I get it. Whatever I want, I get it. Whatever I want, I get it. Period. Period. And I need you to embody this energy as well. Okay? Number 3, third belief. Ooh, I got such a good story to share with y'all at the end of this. Okay. I have a few points here that I didn't get into yet. Anyways, we good on time today. I'm so proud of us. Okay. So the last thing here is to always be a student, okay? And I think this is so important, okay? This is so important because more than likely, the thing between you and your money is something that you haven't learned yet. And it could be you learning about yourself. It could be you learning a new skill. It could be you learning how to communicate. That's a skill, but I like that, right? The thing between you and your money is something that you need to learn. It could be you learning how to regulate your nervous system. That was one of my things, right? And so the whole concept of learning and school, sometimes we don't have a great relationship with that because the way that schools were built and the way that they want to test you and the way that teachers were, depending on who your teachers were, like your whole, again, contributing factor, what you determined about learning got you in a chokehold. When you allow yourself to be a forever student, you place yourself in opportunities, locations, conversations. There is nothing better than a curious mind. I follow this page called, I think it's Hard Knocks on YouTube. They're on TikTok, they're on all the platforms, and they interview millionaires in the street. And the other day, they interviewed this young lady because she's 33 years old. They interviewed this young lady in Miami. I think her name is Rock, right? And he was like, what's the most money ever made in a year? And she was like, 6 point something million dollars. What's the biggest deal you ever closed? She was like, $28 million. And I'm like, who the fuck is this girl? She's talking about she makes money in the oil industry. Like, when I tell you I'm tuned in, like, huh? The most money she ever made was from producing what do you call it? Solar panels. Like, she not talking about no social media, nothing. She not talking about being a doctor or lawyer. She not talking about none of that. You produce solar panels. You in the oil industry. What? So my projector went on a little research. I'm like, who is this girl? And the last thing that she said was be a forever student. She said when she's around billionaires, she just be soaking it up. She not over there trying to act like she know what the fuck she talking about. No, I'm here to learn. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, one of the things that's getting in your way is that you don't want to learn. You think you've learned enough. Oh, why do I need to learn something else? I don't want to learn nothing else. Today is a day that you're going to accept that being a forever student is a benefit to you. There are things that I don't know about making money. I don't know about business. I don't even know about myself yet. What you mean? What you mean I'm going to stop learning? Are you crazy? There are places in this world I don't even know exist. There's types of food I don't even know exist. There's probably sexual positions I don't even know exist. What you mean I'm not going to be a forever student? I need you to accept that learning, accept that learning is a blessing. Learning says I'm still alive. Learning says there's new levels for me to get to. There's another level of me. Hell yeah. Learning is a great thing. Being a humble student is a great characteristic. We would not be here today. Let me tell y'all something. We would not be here today if I didn't say, fuck, I need to learn something else. Like, literally, I grew my business to over 6 figures as a coach on my own merit, on my own excitement, on my own jive. Had a time. But then I also was burnt out. I was also broke. Yes. Multiple 6 figures, still broke. Why? Because the way that I was making my money was hard. It had me exhausted. By the time I was done making money, I didn't even want to meet no more clients. Leave me alone, please. Let me sleep on my floor. So you know what I did? I said, fuck it. I need to learn a better way. I was so attached to one-on-one. If I don't do one-on-one coaching, my clients aren't going to learn anything. They're not going to get in that. They're not going to step into that transformation. So it has to be one-on-ones. It has to be live workshops. That's the only way. That's the only way they're going to get this energy. I was so committed to that because my mindset was shitty at that time. I was also looking for clout. I was looking for clout. I wanted to be blah, 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 blah. I'm she. I'm her. Always been her. And so me accepting that the way that I'm doing business is not producing the results that I want, let me go learn something new. And that is when I recognized that the way that I was showing up on social media, the way that I was using social media was not in a profitable manner. I'm on social media. I'm hosting lives every day. I'm giving off all this energy, but I had no link in bio. More importantly, I did not have any digital products. I was so attached to one-on-one that I boxed myself into this very small group of people that could afford my one-on-ones, number one. And then at that time, I was located in the Caribbean. So that's an even smaller group of people, right? So that's number one. I boxed myself into that. And then number two, I'm creating digital products. No, don't get me wrong. I had ebooks, I was doing all of that stuff, but I was creating what I wanted to create. And then what I went and did and learned was this is how you actually monetize social media. And I was like, oh, I've been doing it wrong. I was doing it how I thought it was supposed to go. That's not how it goes. And you see what I learned was that creating shorter form content like a TikTok, like an Instagram reel, like a tweet, creating more shorter form content and then having a call to action, having a link in bio is going to produce more results with less effort. But I didn't know this until I learned. And you see, the only way that you can learn is when you admit to yourself the truth of your reality. What is the truth of your reality? Again, the things that you are experiencing in private, that's between you and you. And you may say, oh, everything's good. I'm cool. It's not that bad, but you stressing. You're not at peace. You're not in the present moment. That's a moment for you to be honest with you. I could still be out here acting like, yeah, everything is Gucci. Everything is kosher. My man takes care of me. He does take care of me. He does take care of the basics. A bitch was born to be luxury, like luxurious to the highest level. And so if it's meant to be, it's up to me. He's going to do what he can, but if it's meant to be in the way that I see it being, it's up to me. So let me go learn because I love teaching. I love sharing. Now that I've learned how my 4-6 profile is meant to operate from a we perspective, not teaching, but come with me. I'm here with you in the trenches. And the trenches is luxurious in these trenches, okay, y'all? This is not a hard, dusty, dirty trenches. We having a time over here, okay? Come with me. Let's do it together. I had to learn. And so I want you to hear that there's an opportunity for you in learning. There is something that you maybe already invested in it, but you didn't actually sit down and go through it properly. Maybe you're a part of the community, but you don't engage. Maybe you bought the book, you never opened it. You bought the book, you read a chapter and you put it down. You see the advertisement for whatever it is that you know you need, but you don't buy it. You buy everything else but that. You have to be so committed to what you say that you want that you are willing to be a student. You are willing to start at a new level of the mountain because no matter how high you are on the mountain, to get to the next level, you got to start at ground zero. You got to start at ground zero, and there's nothing embarrassing about that. This is why when my same friend was like, I just had my daughter, and she was like, you really need to focus on getting your money up because you don't know what your man. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear that. I'm not getting a job. I'm not interested in that. A job and Sarah don't go together. We don't make love, okay? That's toxic. It's a toxic relationship. So while she was chatting all that shit, you know what I was doing? I was learning digital marketing. I was learning how to create digital products. I'm not saying this to nobody, but that's what I'm doing. Because if it's up to me, it's meant to be. I said it the wrong way on purpose, right? If it's meant to be, it's up to me. You want to continue working hard? Don't got time to sex your man? That's on you, sis. I mean, I'll play that game with you. The game I'm playing is Peaceful Days. YouTube live at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Go for a walk, buy lunch whenever I want, fly home whenever I want, sleep until whatever time I want, homeschool my daughter. That's the game I'm playing. There's no room in that story for a job. You feel me? So, whatever it is that you see for your life, you get to be one, honest with yourself about what you don't know about achieving that, and then go learn it. I've been talking about a laptop lifestyle for years. The first thing I did was jump into real estate. I quickly learned that that was not a laptop lifestyle. Like, I literally had to be in New York to close my deals, to go show properties to my clients. After a year and a half of that, I was like, this is not what I wanted. This is a nice start. I met some people. I made some shit shake. It was fun, but this doesn't give me the freedom that I see for myself. So the next thing was coaching. Then I recognized, damn, I'm doing in-person coaching. I'm doing one-on-one coaching. I got to be posted up somewhere on my laptop. I'm out having fun. I'm smoking a blunt on the beach with my homeboy. Oh shit, a client is in 30 minutes. I got to get somewhere with Wi-Fi. Like, then I quickly recognized this is not it either. I learned a lot. I had a lot of fun. I made some money. I changed a whole lot of lives, but this still, my body is not, it's not at rest the way my vision feels. And so I admitted to myself, there is something that I do not know. Let me go learn. And that is where I learned digital. How do you promote yourself online? How do you create products that create transformation? Because that was my concern. If it's not one-on-one, how are they actually going to get the transformation? Oh, let me learn how to produce a product that actually creates transformation. How do I create things that have people? How do I create content that have people say, holy shit, you speaking to my soul? I had to learn that. Sometimes you meet people on their journey and you think, oh, that's just natural. Running my mouth is natural. Running my mouth in a calculated, strategic way was learned. It was learned. Don't ever look at somebody else's journey and think, oh, it's just them. Like they just got it like that. No. More than likely, they had the same realization I did. Okay, this is fun, but it's not what I want. What do I not know? Y'all are afraid of that question because then you make that mean I'm dumb, I'm slow, I'm behind, it's going to take too long. What? I had a child. I took some time off to have fun with my man, get pregnant, have my daughter. And then I'm like, I want to get back into my thing. I miss my thing, but I can't do my thing the way I was doing my thing. Because if I do my thing the way I was doing my thing, I wouldn't have time for my daughter. I wouldn't have time for my man. I wouldn't have time for the life that I say I want for myself. So we're going to have to learn a new way. This is why I'm in front of you the way I am today. This is why I can say, go download this blah. This is why I can say, if you get this guide, it's going to change your life. Because I learned how to create things that create transformation. I learned how to have you say, fuck, I want some of that. And then you go get some of that. And then you realize, damn, she emailing me every day. Oh yeah, I sat down and I wrote those emails and I scheduled them out so I can nurture you, because that is how you make money online. Please don't get it twisted. And we're going to talk about this in another live. Do not get it twisted. When people say they're making money online, it's not, oh, I just posted the video and that was it. Okay. There's a whole background system that is working. You post the video, you get that freebie and you think, oh, I got the freebie. Now I'm gone. The freebie is not where the transformation happens, okay? The freebie is just the introduction to their world. More importantly, you just gave them access to email you. And when I'm talking about them, I'm talking about me, because that's how my business is set up, okay? Before, when I was like, oh, let me go live 100,000 times a day, and people are just liking the live, they're sharing the live, I'm not getting none of their email addresses. So I had to do that every single day, over and over and over again, wearing myself the F out. Now I can go live once a week. I can post TikToks, I can post on Twitter, and I can say, go download this freebie. Boom, I got your email. Let's chop it up in the email. Let me talk to you. Let me see where you're at. Let me share other things I got going on. And all of that shit is on autopilot. You see, I didn't know that before. I had to learn it. I'm talking to somebody today. Because you want a version of your life that you have not learned how to make possible yet. There's a version of your life that already exists, and you have not learned what you need to learn to live into that life. So again, the invitation is to be excited about being a forever student. Being a student is a great thing. Okay, cool. I learned how to make $1 million. How the fuck I make 10? You gotta learn. There's something else to learn. Learning is a beautiful thing. Okay? Learning takes you from point A to point B, and point B to point C, and point C to point D. Learning. Okay? That is the third belief. I love being a student. I believe that being a student opens doors and opportunities I don't even know exist. And imagine that those opportunities are for me. I don't even know they exist because I haven't learned what I need to learn yet. That's your third belief. I'll open this to drink some water. Even down to this. I'm going to share this. I'm going to share some points, and then we're going to jump in the chat, right? When I came home, well, it probably was the next day on Sunday, I was listening to, I consider my mentor too. And if I say mentor, even though it's somebody online, I bought a course, I bought a program, I did something, I invest, okay? If I follow somebody, I'm investing. So this lady, her name is something Guru. And she talks mostly about relationships. Come to find out, I knew she was a projector, but I just was doing some research on her on Sunday, and she's actually a 4/6 projector like me. And I was like, no wonder. And one of the things I'm following from her business model that I've been following her since 2022, was that she built her YouTube by going live. And that's one of the things that a few months ago when it clicked for me, I was like, YouTube live. I don't know what it was, but it was like YouTube live. And come to find out that she's a 4/6 projector, I was like, anyways. And this lady, she charges $11,000 for her courses. Okay. I'm about to be right there with her. Anyway, so I watch a video from her. I'm telling you something. I'm sharing with you something that I learned, right? I'm watching a video with her, and the video is all about how to go from like 50-50 relationships to 100% provider relationships. And she's talking about the energetics of it, right? And she was like, one of the things that we have learned from our environment is that when someone does something to you, that you put them on timeout. You don't talk to them, you put them on quiet mode. She was like, that's what I learned in my household. And I was watching the video, I'm like, that's what I learned in my household. That's my mom. My mom, if you piss her off, my mom is giving you silent treatment, right? And I grew up seeing that. Even though I don't like that, I still was like doing some of that. So I recognize that. And she was like, even though you may say nothing's wrong, your energy is what's telling people what's really up. And I recognize that, yeah, I'm not mad at my man, but my energy was definitely given like, fuck you, son. That was what my energy was giving. And as I watch this video, I'm learning from her how to stop doing that and step into just love. And I was like, that's the energy I have for my homegirl. Even though I could feel that she was doing bullshit, I still had love. And she was like, always live in that energy. And then she explained how to always live in that energy. And I was like, boom. Because even though I'm a very loving person, I was still operating out of the things that I saw. My mom gives you silent treatment. I'm going to do silent treatment too. Apparently that's what you do. And so I share that because there's always an opportunity to learn. And when you pay attention to what your body is telling you, it's like, yeah, this is not working. Let me learn something new. Yeah, I want my man to check yourself. Do your self-reflection. But I don't want him to feel like he's not welcome in his own house. I don't want him to feel like I'm mad at him, like, because I'm not. I just didn't like that shit that you said. So I learned from this lady how to give off, there's a boundary set, there was an impact of what you said, but the aura here is love and affection. I learned in that video how to do that. So again, at any time, no matter what you want in life, there's an opportunity to learn. Embrace being a forever student. I want to always, and it's going to take a lifetime, I always want to experience love in my relationships. But there are things that I have learned, even though they're subtle, that are a part of me. And there's always an opportunity to learn how to release that, how to let it go. There are things that are a part of me. This is the story I'm about to tell you right now, that it's a part of me. And even though it doesn't work, there's an opportunity for me to release that when it comes to money, when it comes to businesses. When I built my business initially, I built it based on what I saw my parents do. My parents are entrepreneurs as well. What I saw other entrepreneurs do in my arena, I'm like, okay, this is what they're doing. But guess what? When I paid attention to what my body said, I was like, that shit don't work. That's not effective. There's something for me to learn. And that is when I gave in and learned a new business model. This is what I wanted to share with y'all about shifting generational curses, right? We talk about generational curses and trauma. I don't believe in those words, curses and trauma. I think it's generational decisions, okay? Generational decisions. I'm on the phone yesterday with my mom, and I'm sharing with her about digital products. I'm hearing her talk about she want to make money. I'm hearing her talk about, oh, I just want to float around and do nothing. Whole time I'm telling her exactly what to do, right? And then she says, oh, when you make your first million, then I'm gonna listen to you. And I was like, okay, cool. And as I listened to her go on and on about what's not working, I recognize generational decision. Generational decision. Because my grandmother, who doesn't have to work, but she's an OCD queen, right? She still be cleaning people's houses for little to nothing. Why? Generational decisions. And as I sat with that, I was like, we look at people like families like the Rockefellers, right? Who have money for generations, back and forward. And then we look at people who are broke for generations back and forward. And you think that there's something so different between the two. And the only thing is making a new decision. And I want you to know that making that decision is an everyday thing. And this is why I am so committed to doing that for my generations. Because when you make a change, you heal 7 generations behind and 7 generations ahead of you. So the work that I am doing to build a business from my energetics first is going to heal generations that came before me and those that come after me. But as I was in that conversation with my mom, I'm like, a lot of the things that come up for me subconsciously are not even mine. As I listen to her, I'm like, that's her shit. And maybe that's not even her shit, that's my grandmother's shit. And maybe that's not even her shit, that's the generation before her. And I'm sharing this with you because you need to have grace for yourself. A lot of us give up on things that we truly want because we think, well, fuck, I can't move past this thought or this belief. And I want you to know that you doing that work, hello, generators, do that self-reflection. Is this belief even mine? Projectors, pay attention to how people respond to you. Again, your beliefs are creating your reality. When we talk about generational curses and generational trauma, that is generational decisions. I saw something on Twitter today where this girl was like, what did she say? She was like, oh, if you meet someone and their parents paid for their college and their parents paid for all of these things, you shouldn't be taking advice. You shouldn't be taking financial advice from them. And I was like, that's actually exactly who you should be taking financial advice from. This is the post. People whose parents gave them a down payment on a house in their 20s after paying for their college degree, their first car, and their health insurance until age 26 probably shouldn't give financial advice. And I reposted and I said, actually, these are the best people to give financial advice because they're coming from a regulated nervous system. I don't want advice from someone who talks about how fucking broke they were because they're probably going to tell you to work your ass off. I'm sorry, I don't want to hear that. I want to take my advice from someone like myself, who my parents built a school for me. They sent me to boarding school. They sent me to college. I didn't have to take out no loans. I want to take advice from somebody who has had a cool relationship with money. I don't want financial advice from someone who felt like I had to hustle hard. No, thank you. And this is why we got to be very aware of who we're following, what we're engaging with, because people are going to bring their generational shit into their opinions. That's a very lack-based comment. Don't take advice from somebody who grew up with money. So that person who has had a cool, calm relationship with money, I shouldn't listen to them. That person who's probably going to teach me the most refreshing and easiest ways to make money, I shouldn't listen to them. Oh, okay. Okay. And that post got thousands and thousands and thousands of likes on it. That's coming from a mindset of, oh, they were lucky and I'm not so lucky. So advice from them is coming from the lucky and you're not lucky, so don't listen to the lucky people. Okay. Well, going back to belief number 1 of today's conversation, we were all born abundant. Despite of what you went through in your human experience, you were born abundant. So let me hang around the rich people, the wealthy people, the people that have been experiencing wealth. Let me be around you so you can remind me of who I was born to be. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Okay? The last thing here before we get into the comments, I want to touch on 2 pieces of work that you got to do. Using the beliefs that I shared with you today, you got your outer work and you got your inner work. Okay? And you have to do both in order to create the results that you want. Your outer work, learning how to market yourself. This is why I talk about branding, personal branding and marketing all day, every day. Even if you are applying for a job, when you put a resume together, you have to market yourself. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to market yourself and market your product. If you're a musician, you got to market yourself. Your outer work is learning how to market yourself. Okay? A part of marketing is how you look, how you sound. This is why I think communication is such a great investment. Learning how to speak, how to put words together, how to simplify complex topics, that will make you hella money. Learn how to market yourself. Learn how to negotiate higher pay. Very important. I don't think everybody should be an entrepreneur, but if you're going to have a job, learn how to negotiate higher pay. Okay? And that is directly tied to learning how to market yourself. Because when you learn how to market yourself, you learn what your value is. You learn your skill sets. You learn what you add to any environment. And when you are confident in that, then you can negotiate great pay easily. A lot of y'all just be applying to jobs because you need the money. Fuck that. The money is a result. What do you have to bring to that job? I have applied to jobs that said we're gonna pay you $95,000, $100,000, and I got paid $150,000. That was my last job. Why? Because I know that when I come into this opportunity, the way that I'm going to nurture the relationships of your clients, they're gonna pay on time. So you're gonna pay me for that. But that's because I learned myself and I learned how to market myself. So your outer work, learn how to market yourself. Learn how to negotiate higher pay. And number 3, learn how to manage your finances. Okay? That is the outer work. The inner work, transforming your thoughts, your beliefs, and your attitudes around yourself and around money. Okay? Very important. Very important. There are people who raise their prices and people will never pay those prices. Why? Because that person has not done the inner work. You don't even believe you're worth those prices. You just raise them because you think, oh, if I raise my price, I'm gonna make more money. But do you actually believe that you are worth those raised prices? That comes as a result of doing that inner work. What do you believe about yourself? And what do you believe about money? You got to do that work first and foremost. Those two things go hand in hand. There are people who have followers on top of followers on top of followers, can't make no money online. They do not make nothing near what they're meant to make. I was listening to this young lady talk about influencers. She works for a company that manages influencers. And she was like, I know influencers who have millions of followers and they probably make $10,000 per brand deal. And then she was like, I know influencers who have 10,000 followers and they make 50 grand per brand deal. Interesting. That all ties back to your beliefs about yourself and money. Okay? So I'm gonna pause here. We're gonna tap into the chat. We're gonna tap into the chat. And while I'm scrolling back, let me know in the chat what is your greatest takeaway from today? Okay, I'm gonna scroll up, and by the time I get to the bottom, I should hear from each and every one of you what was your greatest takeaway from today. You can also share what you're about to do next. Like what opened up for you today, okay? Now, let me scroll up. Let me see what's going on. Let me see what's popping, all right? Millie, 6'2", emotional authority fear projector. I found a bunch of Ra-Uru, who, if you don't know who Ra-Uru is, he's the originator. He's a manifester, so definitely the originator, the initiator, rather say that, the initiator of human design. So I found a bunch of Ra-Uru, I'm going to say content, because there's a word missing there, and I learned a lot about human design over the weekend. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, Janai says, girl, where have I been? Working like a headless chicken, probably out of alignment of my design because I'm exhausted. Fuck yeah. You know the funny thing, even though Janai is a manifesting generator, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, even though generator types have limitless energy, if you are not doing work that you love, you're gonna feel exhausted. I see it in my man all the time. Like once Donald Trump said everybody gotta go back to the office, immediately my man's energy was just like sucked out of him. Because generator types, you want to be up and doing things, but you want to be up and doing things you love. You don't want to be sitting in an office all day. You don't want to have 10,000 jobs that you just have because you need to make money. You want to do things that light you up. So generators, what he just said, okay. Probably out of alignment. You're out of, anytime you feel exhaustion, if you are not feeling your theme, your human design theme, if you're not experiencing that, you are out of alignment. And for a Manny Jen, your theme is peace and satisfaction. Okay? And Janai said, I clicked this live so fast. I love that you're here. Okay, so Janae says, 5'1", emotional authority projector, need motivation. My foundation in terms of creation needs to be reconstructed before I start anything. Yes, I need to fully feel safe and not feel I'm creating out of survival mode. Honey, I'll see you on Friday. If you didn't know, in Confident and Pay, we do hot seat calls, and for May, our hot seat call is on this Friday. So Janae, we will talk more about creating out of creating just to create. That's actually one of the in my audio spell, and I'm creating new audio spells today, guys, by the way, and they're going to be all around money, and they will be free. So they're going to be free for the projector and the generator types. Those will be, I'll probably post them up tonight, so stay tuned for that. But what I wanted to say was, one of the statements in my audio spell is, money comes to me. I receive money while I'm creating, like not because of my creations, but while I'm creating, money's coming to me. Like yesterday, I'm at the library with my daughter, and then we go to Kava to get lunch. And right before I took a nap at like 2:30, 3 o'clock, I checked my email, and this young lady I created this Mercury business blueprint based on your Mercury sign. And this girl purchased it, and she was like filled in all her information. And I was like, oh, look at that. Like, beautiful. Like while I'm out living my life, people are going through my Stan store and buying what they want. Why? Because I make money no matter what I'm doing. And I am so excited to share this with my girls on Friday in Confident and Paid. Like, we are not here to do for money. We're here to live and receive money. Okay. Sometimes it's for the things that you created. Sometimes it's out of thin fucking air. But that whole conversation about lack and scarcity, it's got to die, okay? Survival mode is a result of a dysregulated nervous system. You know your human design now. That shouldn't even be a conversation. And I'm not saying that to rush you. I'm not saying that to be like, hurry up. I'm not saying that to be like, what are you doing? Once you know your human design and you are authentically honoring your human design, the only result you're going to have is your theme for life. Okay. So if you have learned your human design and you feel like you're not experiencing that, it's time to surrender. And yes, surrendering can take time. It can, but surrendering is a choice, right? Once you decide this is the only result I want to experience in my life, every time something comes up, you make a choice that aligns with your decision. I chose my partner. So even if he pisses me off, I am going to choose in every moment, how can I be differently about this? I'm not going to be upset with him. I chose him already. I chose the life where he's a part of, right? So I'm not going to choose something that's adverse to that. And my body's always telling me, right? So listen to your body. K35, emotional Manny Jen. I learned about my sun gate 11 of ideas, and that put ease on myself. That is amazing. This week I'm practicing reprogramming and intentional moments. Boop. Janae says the audios have helped me unlock that and heal that part of myself. See, I'm excited for Friday. I'm just gonna say that. But I want y'all to know, like, and this is my true belief, if you are in my aura, audio spells are going to change the game for you. Okay. If you ever listen to Abraham Hicks, audio spells are going to change the game for you. I've done EFT tapping. I have done journaling. I have done so many different methods. Audio spells, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss, like overnight chef's kiss. Okay. So I love to hear that for Janae. Kay is curating a routine. Boop. Love that. Routines create your life. Jasmine Christine, welcome, Jasmine. I'm a manifesting generator, I'm a 3-6 sacral authority, Manny Jen, innocence motivation. Something I learned recently is that I don't need to plan. Innocence motivation. That's like my daughter. She has innocence motivation. I can have goals. Oh, my sister too, who's now living in Australia. Innocence motivation. I can have goals, but not really plan exactly how I'll accomplish them. That's awesome. Yo, I will say innocence motivation is such a unique motivation because it literally means no motivation. If you have innocence motivation, do not have any motivation at all. My sister said that she was, we're going to say high on a gummy, happy on a gummy. And she was like, I should move to Australia. And then she moved to Australia. Innocence motivation to a T, right? She did what she said she was going to do. A couple weeks before, she was like, I don't know how the fuck this is working out. And it worked out. Innocence motivation. So I love that. I just after reading that, Jasmine, I feel a sense of freedom over there with you. So that's really cool. Janai, 2-4, hermit opportunist, manifesting generator. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Janae, listening to your human design type is so important because if you were to initiate a convo, it likely would be when she wasn't ready to hear it, although you already clocked it. Okay? Okay? Ben clocked that energy off of my friend like a long ass time ago. And me just like, it's so funny. Like my body would be like, ooh, this needs to be talked about. And then I'll just be like, oh, okay, it'll happen when it happens. And then it did. And it's so funny when we talked on Monday, like I acknowledged, I was like, I can feel the flow between us now. And she was like, me too. And I was like, I'm happy. I didn't have to change anything, but I could feel there was something there all along. Like, oh, I just love honoring myself. Same thing with my man. Like, we haven't talked about his little no and his little tantrum he had on Saturday, but it's gonna come up. And guess who's gonna bring it up? Him. This is something I told my girlfriend. I was like, this is how I knew I was out of alignment. In my relationships before, I was always the one to like, let's talk about it. And I'm taking away the power from the man. That's your job, sir. Your job is to bring it up and bring it to a head and let's talk about it. I can't take that away from you. But me, miss, I like harmony so much. I'm like, let me bring it up. Nope. Because then when I bring it up, you don't have nothing to contribute because you haven't self-reflected yet. So I'm going to be Miss Quiet, Miss Pretty over here until you're ready to talk, Mr. Generator. Do your generating thing. Do your generating thing. Self-reflect. And projectors, sit back and look pretty and let them come to you because they will. They can't help it. Our energy is like piercing into them. Even if our aura is giving off love and affinity, it is still piercing into them. Like, so when you going, okay. Janai says, I lost the AI link to find out more about my human design meaning. Okay, one second. Let me share that with you now. If you are, I won't say new here, but I think the best, and if you can copy this link right now, the best chat GPT to learn your human design is going to be Jade's chat GPT. So I'm gonna drop this in the chat right now. If you don't know Jade, Big Jade, I like to call her Big Jade, and she's the tiniest little, she's like 4'1", I think. She is small, but that energy, big energy. Okay, 6'2" profile, big energy. So I just dropped that in the chat for you, Janai. Let's see. Stella said big facts. And I said, "'Tis true. I get that. The only experience is abundance. Yes, abundance is more than money." Yo, it's so crazy. Again, when we are more in the material world and we are not in the spiritual world, we're supposed to be in both. Okay? We're supposed to be in both. If you're only in the material world, you really are, you're missing the big bag. You're in a very limited bag. Okay? So I love that Stella said that abundance is more than money. Abundance is an aura. Like, it's an aura. This is why I can go anywhere on the earth and I'm good. I think Kanye said that. I can go anywhere on this earth and I'm Gucci. Why? Because my aura is abundant. Huh? Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Jasmine said facts. Yes. SC. Welcome, welcome. Who's SC? You new here. Who's that? Let's see. Stella says, and you revamped a dead plant business. Stella. Back to the power of aura. She's talking about a client that I had. There was a client that I worked with in the Virgin Islands, a plant company, and yes, my aura definitely did that. My aura, I was his social media influencer, manager, all of that, and my energy brought everybody named Mama down there. Material results of your hard work. Facts. Clock it, clock it. I'm a Penn State grad too. SC, let me know. I went to Altoona and then I finished at main campus. I'm so happy to have you here. My son went to her camp. Oh, it's my mom's camp. First impressions, born abundant. Yes, ma'am. My man. Okay, abundance is your birthright. Kay said they call it an abusive relationship with the universe. Ooh, shit. I don't know why that just punched me in the face. Accepting scraps when there's so much more in front of self. Self blocks because blurred visions and abundance block. Yo, let me tell y'all, there is no blurred vision. There's a blurred mindset. There's a blurred mindset. And that blurred mindset goes back to belief number 2. There's contributing factors, shit that's happening. You have no control over that. And then there's what you make it mean. You think I'm gonna stop asking my man for money? You think I'm gonna stop spending his money? I'm probably about to go spend some money right now after this. What? You think that little conversation about to stop? This is an abundant universe. What? But there's someone out there in a relationship that happened to them. They just shut down. I'm not gonna ever. No, fuck that. Keep showing up. The universe bends to your will. The universe bends to your will. If you keep waking up and saying, I'm abundant, I make 100 grand a day, every day, even if it takes 10 years. If you keep waking up and saying that, eventually the universe is going to be like, all right, fuck it, here's 100 grand. Every day. The universe bends to your will. Ooh. God is not on a budget. The universe is not on a budget. Okay? Not on a budget. No budget. What is a budget? That was so juicy. There's nothing to fix. That's important for me to remember. Please do. Again, we were born into environments that like want us to be the way they want us to be. And so we think something's wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfect. You are perfect as you are. We already hold. All the cheat codes are within. Yes. The tree of life. That's why it's always in the center. As within, so without. As within, so without. As within, so without. When I was dating men that couldn't do nothing for me, as within, so without. Okay? Okay. All right. Some people got mentally traumatized as kids. Yeah, so this is the thing that I want to come back to, right? Again, we have to be very, very attentive to words. We create words, we give word meaning, we give experiences meaning. So yeah, kids, adults, we all went through something, right? And we could have called it trauma, but I want you now in your big age and your big ability to say, oh, I went through something. I made it mean trauma. What's the new meaning I'm going to give it? Okay? We have to like take all of our power back. All of it. You can't be saying, "Oh, I was traumatized, fucked up shit happened to me," and then saying, "I'm whole and complete." You got to choose one or the other. Your energy cannot be split. You are a one. That's why when I watched that video on Saturday and she was talking about you can't have an aura of fuck you, but at the same time like I'm not going nowhere. It's one or the other. And you can have boundaries within that aura, but it cannot be both, right? Your aura is talking to the universe all the time. That's like my friend saying you're talking about abundance, but you paying your stuff late. That was me split energy, right? That was split energy. One energy is I'm abundant. I pay my shit on time. All my bills are paid on in full. All my bills are on auto. That's one energy. And again, I had to learn these things, right? So just wanted to offer that. I can't answer that why. Janai, self-reflection, baby. Self-reflection, and you can use ChatGPT to support you in that. And as we go on with these lives, I'm going to share more things about your chart that you can tap into. If you don't want to wait, jump into confident and paid. We can literally go toe to toe. I can give you exactly what you need. That's the beautiful thing about having an offer. And I want all of you as entrepreneurs, as healers, as creators, as coaches, whatever it is that you do in your medium, understand that showing up on social media, that is your community service, right? That's your community service. People don't get transformation, they get awareness. You're getting awareness of things through our conversation. Transformation happens within the container. Whether that's the ebook or the course or the community, that's where the true transformation happens. All right. So if any of you are watching and you're like, I want results now, jump into a paid offer. It could be with me, it could be with somebody else. I'm not forcing you to do anything, right? But the moment that you step into something that's curated, you're going to receive your transformation. When you on the outside, I'm gonna collect all this free data. You just gonna have information. You won't really know how to put it together, how to piece it together, how to create actual results. Okay. Again, if you are a creator, a healer, a coach, a service provider, you want to create offers. Transformation happens within an offer. This is awareness. Okay. The content that you put out is awareness. You're bringing people, you're sharing things so people could go, ooh, damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know my Mercury directly related to what my business is supposed to be focused on. And then when they come in the comments, can you tell me more? Here's my offer. Okay? That's the relationship that we're building. It's an honoring of your energy when you do that. You're sharing information with the world that has people aware, and then you're honoring them and yourself by saying, if you want to go deeper, this is how we do it. Trust me, I ignore motherfuckers all day. Okay, I'm not even gonna be shy about that. Don't come under my comments trying to get me to answer your whole life, read your whole chart. I'm not doing that. Who got time for that? You could go learn that on your own. But if you want my perspective, come into a container. Okay. I don't know how I just went on that little rant, but I just wanted to empower anyone that's creating things. Stop giving your shit away for free. Stop. 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 That's an abusive relationship with the universe. The universe is, I've gifted you, and now you're just giving away for free, and then you saying you're broke. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Okay? Free your mind and the rest will follow. We are always creating. Absolutely. I needed this today. Nothing but a word. Okay, you already know. You already know. Need motivation, don't need that extra. Give me a yes or a no. Okay. Don't piss me. Okay. That was very valuable. Yes, yes, yes. We have the control. Self-reflection for manifesting generators. Yes, yes, yes. I am good. You over there fighting demons, and we cannot control that. We can control that. Whatever I want, I get it, and it won't always look the way I imagine. That's something that I think is very powerful and empowering for everyone. You know, often when we want something, we pray for it, we're journaling around it, we're doing all the things, we're thinking, oh, I want water, and it needs to show up in a bottle of water. Whole time you crying your eyes out, and there's a well right next to you. There's a well right next to you, but the only thing you want is this bottle of water. So you're missing your blessing. I think that's such an important key, because as I listen to my audio spells that's all around having $10,000 days, the amount of things that have opened up for me that are not a $10,000 day, but that will create $10,000 days has been astounding. The number of new offers that have come up since I've been listening to this audio spell that people have already been paying for is astounding. But when I started, I may have had one offer or two offers, or maybe I had like three, maybe let's say three offers I had. Since then, because of listening to this audio spell, all of these things have been coming up. And then now I have a catalog. Like a $10,000 day is nothing. But a lot of times out of scarcity, we think it should show up in the exact way that we want. Okay, $10,000 the day showed up. That was today. What about tomorrow? Sometimes it's you putting the systems in place, whether it's a habit, a routine, creating the offer suite, whatever it is. Maybe it's having a weekly conversation with your partner. Like, the result is done. Once you ask, it is given, but it's not necessarily going to show up in the way you expected, but it is showed up. It's already showed up. Once you ask, it is given. Thank you for adding that to the conversation, Janae. This has inspired me to get more into the body and not in my head. I overthink so easily and it doesn't help me. Misty, welcome to the conversation. Trust me, I get it. Okay. If you are here with me, that's the one thing we have in common. I think what I said last week was it last week or the week before? 3 things I know about you. You are creative, you are resourceful, and you overthink like a motherfucker. I know that because that was me. Okay. So I'm happy that you have gotten that for yourself today. Your human design is the key. When you surrender to your human design, you're not surrendering to this information, you're surrendering to your body. Allow your body to lead the way. It already knows. It knows where all the little secret doors are. It knows where your partner is. It knows where your money's at. Your body knows. Get out of your head and trust your body. The beautiful thing about having human design is you have the actual manual that us overthinkers, we need to read some. Oh, that makes sense. We need that. So definitely trust your human design. Why wouldn't you want to be a forever student? Why cut off your supply for new experiences and insights? Yes. I had a work from home job where I could be out and about, but could get a call at any moment. That wasn't freedom to me, and I'm not accepting that as my reality. My life involves complete day-to-day, moment-to-moment freedom. Yes, Janae. The system has been built, autopilot intact. Now I can rest and be freed and get paid. Need motivation right there. My need is freedom, right? That's me. I need and have to learn how to monetize me and stop being a freebie. Not you being the freebie. That's wild. That's wild. A book I'll recommend, Overcoming Under Earning. Okay. Overcoming Under Earning. I learned about that book from Jade. I am re-listening to it now again, and it's so good. Like, she talks about all of the subconscious things that cause us to under earn. And one of the things that she asked was a question. She was like, I give away, she was like going through a checklist of like 30 things. And she was like, write down the ones that you do. And one of them was, I prefer to give away my services for free than to get paid for them, because I want to be a servant to the universe, or I want to do good things. And I was just like, ooh, there was a time that was me a few years ago. That was not cute. It's not cute. So it's funny that you said, I have to stop being a freebie. That's funny as well. Overcoming Under Earning is the name of the book. You can't be a freebie. Like, life is short. You cannot give your energy away. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know. That shit is so funny. Woo. Okay. Following your human design authority and making different decisions will break the pattern. Absolutely. I don't want advice from scarcity. I remember you saying, I'm the gift. You're just the place I show my gift off. I be dropping gems, y'all. Damn. Thank you for Janae, because Janae is like the gem keeper. Real talk. Okay, so Janai's takeaway is I don't actually have to fix me per se, but just need to learn how to do it differently by being a student again. I love that. I love that. Janae, continue to be excited about being a student and learn about myself. It can work out for me. It's just about learning the how for me personally. We are all meant to get what we want, and HD helps. Janae, two things. It's already worked out. It's already worked out. Sometimes we need to zoom the fuck out. When you zoom out, like let's say you're looking at a GPS, right? The GPS is only going to tell you what's right in front of you, right? But when you zoom out, you can see the whole trip, and it's like, oh shit, the destination's there. I don't have to create the destination, right? It's already worked out. That's number one. Number two, what was the second thing here? The number two, you said learning the how for me. The how, I just want to be clear. Yes, learning how to do things, learning how or controlling how it's going to happen. I just want to discern. That's two different things, okay? Learning how to do the thing, for example, learning how to create the digital products that create transformation. That's something that I learned how to do, but how it actually happens, how people purchase it, how people find me, that's outside of my control. I just wanted to make that distinction. I think that would help somebody here. My takeaway, this is Malika. Malika. Hi, Malika. My takeaway was the reminder to act on an authentic decision that is in alignment instead of feeling like there's something about me I need to fix. I love that. I hate it that that's a part of our experience, but it is when we move from fixing ourselves, we move from fear, we move from I'm not enough, we move from I need to prove myself. That the what do you call it? The celebration or the length of happiness on moving from that is so small. You ever do something that you feel like you need to prove yourself, and then in that moment it's like, "Ooh, you did good," and then after that you feel like shit for the next week? That's the worst. Versus moving from I am whole, perfect, and complete, everything is already worked out for me. Every action you take feels like fulfillment. Like it's like I did a great thing. I created the digital product and now it's out there and I trust that things are going to work out for me versus I'm doing this as a money grab, then only one person buys it and you're like, "Well, what the fuck?" You know? Like and I'm sharing that's from my personal experience, right? Doing something for a money grab, then one or two people buy it and then no one else buys it and it's like, "Damn, like the universe literally just gave me the money I needed for my rent." But I cannot leave that as something that I could make money from forever, so it wasn't that fun. I put all that effort in for a money grab? No. I wanted to live on my system. I put that on autopilot and it makes money forever. That's the kind of products I'm creating now. Younger me, out of alignment me, dysregulated nervous system me was making a lot of money grabs and it would literally just pay my rent. That's when I talked about earlier that I made multiple six figures, but I was broke. That's why, because when I was tired, I still had to get up and make money because the money that I made, I already spent it. Versus, let me create this thing that forevermore, it's like writing a book, forevermore, people are going to buy this book. That is where we create from I'm whole, I'm perfect, I have value to add to the world. People want this. You can sit down, put your time in, create something that will make money forever. That's where we at in this aura on this page. That's the energy we in. Okay, so I love that. Janae, you can control what you want for yourself when you've chosen what you want out of your life, not accepting out of scarcity, not accepting anything out of scarcity and out of alignment with values. Be committed to your vision. Oh, be committed to your version of success. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, Janae got the link, not 4-1. Oh, 410. My bad. She's 410. She's 410. 4-1 would probably be like as big as this water. She is little though. It's funny because I didn't think Jade was that short. She do give big Jade energy because she about that ish. Real talk, yo. Real talk. Real talk. All right, just got that audio book. Good, very true. It definitely has already worked out. And yes, the how in terms of learning about how I best operate. Awesome. The fact that we all have somewhat of the same takeaway makes me feel even more empowered. Great session as always. My pleasure, y'all. I'm happy to hear that you got a lot from today. I think we were supposed to do celebrations. We did. You guys kind of shared what you got. So bring more of that next week. It's very important to celebrate, guys. You may not recognize it, but everything that I shared today was a celebration. Like the shifts in how I dealt with something, my perspective, that's my type of celebration, because I'm someone that used to live in my head. So when I'm able to shift my perspective and be with something that happened in my reality in an empowered way, that's me celebrating myself. So I love talking about that. You'll recognize in Confident and Paid, I'm always sharing like, this is what I got from. That's my celebration. So next week, I'm looking forward to your celebrations. Okay. Go create great shit in the world. Not great shit, great shit. Go create great shit. Yes, go create great things in the world. And then join me next week. We're going to dive a bit deeper into money in our charts. Okay. This is one thing I want to share with you before we go. I have learned a bit about my Mercury placement, and it's so funny. I spent a lot of my life judging myself based on the money that I did not have in my bank account, only to learn that that's literally the only thing I'm meant to talk about. And it's so funny that when I look at, for example, my community is called Confident and Paid. My community on Twitter is called Prosperous Projector. Just about every topic that I talk about on YouTube is about how to monetize yourself. I've talked about this for years. So it's funny, like, even when we try to judge ourselves and minimize ourselves, our body is still going to go forward with the same topic, the same thing that we were designed for. So, anyways, next week, we're going to talk about actual placements in your chart, both astrology and human design, around generating income, around a business mindset, around how to speak your cash into existence. So we're going to have a time next week. I might, like, when I share well, you guys already know 1 o'clock next week, but I might share some stuff around like what to look into in your chart so you come prepared. Okay. I love you. Have an amazing week. I'm about to go get something to eat. And share this with somebody that you love. I think it'll make a difference for other people, and we can have more fun next week. Bigger community, bigger live. Okay. I love you. Mwah. Bye.